Tell me about Bill Gates. I'm still very interested because you know why I'm interested. It's kind of comical. I never noticed all the conspiracy theories that started floating around him after COVID until very recently. And I was like, I remember reading up about him as a kid and people thinking he's a hero. Like, what changed? What did pop culture change about him? So I want to understand, you had first-person interaction with him. How's he like? What is it like being with him?
He's a great guy. Like I said, we are all entrepreneurs. And he took a bet and he got extremely lucky with, IBM setting the standard and taking his OS as the standard for PCs. And he made money. He gave that to IBM for free, for $75,000 unlimited use. But all of the other, manufacturers had to pay him $50 or $100 to build the operating system, to incorporate the operating system, and that's how Microsoft started generating revenue.
Right.
So very visionary. That's why he bought companies like Hotmail and a whole bunch of other companies. And he's built a phenomenal company.
How do you think a guy like him is looking into the future? For instance, his acquisition of Hotmail. How is he thinking, okay, this is going to be the future and we should put our money here? And for that matter, not just is this going to be the future, but it's priced properly. Like, I'm not over or underpaying for it and that kind of stuff. How is a guy at Bill's level or even your level in many ways thinking about the future?
It's instinct.
It's instinct.
Because at that time, the internet wasn't proven, but he knew the internet was going to be big and, one day there would be all kinds of people generating revenue and doing transactions and making connections happen and all of that stuff. And he just saw an early growth momentum company that was growing fast. And, it just made sense. And like I said, we don't know the future. As Brian Johnson also said, everybody who predicts by 2030, this will happen, that'll happen. I don't believe any of them because they don't know. They are just trying to be predictors and say, I told you so. That's not the way. You have to be in touch with technology. You have to see what is going on. You don't just make big, bold bets. You actually have to get your hands and fingers dirty. Like before I delved into this new whole AI bit, I said, my view of the world is outdated because I got an education from Caltech, many years ago, 20 years ago. So in about 2017, 2016, I started playing around with AI myself. I taught myself. I took courses online. I reconnected with what was going on. I started programming. I learned Python. I did everything because only by doing do you come up with ideas.
Sure.
You don't come up with ideas because you sit on the top of a perch and you say, oh, so-and-so is doing it, so I should do it too. No. I love experiencing stuff firsthand. And I taught myself all of this and now I'm in touch and I'm like, okay. Then I put my critical thinking cap on and I say, what is a large language model? I've done this, I realized, I understood. No, my intuition, it tells me AGI will not come from here. It will come from some other place, but not this one, because this is just regurgitation of already existing knowledge. Where are the new ideas, completely out of box, imaginative ideas coming from? Not from this. That is the world that all of us are entering, and that is the world we have to get the next generation ready for. We have to encourage them to be dreamers and out-of-box thinkers.
Right.
Not experts at solving a quadratic equation that has been solved 10 billion times before.
Yeah. Right. Don't punish me for missing a step in my addition question.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
Because phone can do it for me.
That's it.
And calculators could do it 20 years ago.
That's it.
And yeah, like the penalization is of that kind of stuff is just so absurd to me. It just teaches the kids wrong things. I remember when in school, you missed putting a dot here. And so therefore I'm going to take marks of 5th grader. What are you teaching the 5th grader at that point?
Yeah.
You're teaching him fear of things they can't even... And I could just type that shit. I could literally type it, but whatever, right? I get riled up about this. I think the education system has more injuries it has bestowed than lives it has saved in some ways. Maybe I'm misquoting myself. Maybe I'm not apprehending the problem properly. But I think so many kids get out of schools already scarred for life.
Yes.
Already afraid of life.
Because
And
they
that's not
think they're
helpful.
not smart because they didn't get 9,900 marks.
Exactly.
Then the real dreamers, the dyslexic ones, or the ones who are like super smart, who can imagine a future, whose intuition allows them to play with numbers, or who can imagine a new world, who are very creative, they are told, you're not
You're
smart.
daydreamers.
You're not smart.
Right.
You're not the 99 and 100 percenters think they are like God's gift to mankind because they can memorize and regurgitate an answer like this. They haven't caused any change to planet Earth. They have just, spent their real brain cycles in memorization and regurgitation. And in fact, they've killed creativity.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Creative thinking encourages creativity,
Right.
encourages out-of-box thinking. And our traditional system that we have today is killing. And by the way, this creative thinking, because my final answer is in the form of a Q&A, right? Even an uneducated person can answer.
Right.
There is no such thing as education means you're smarter.
Right.
And I'm saying that's what we need to tap into, the intellectual potential of the country.
Beautiful. Is there a final message you have for a large part of metropolitan India, young, predominantly male audience that will watch this podcast?
Oh, is it predominantly male? I didn't know that.
No, YouTube's predominantly male. I think it's an 80-20 split, so it's very appropriate in that way.
There is no message. There is, live in the moment. Be aware of what is going on. And let your imagination run wild. And of course, educate yourself with the latest tools that are available on the internet, whether it's AI tools, it's how to use large language models, it's how to come up with videos using AI. Learn all of that, but your imagination will lead to the next breakthrough in technology.
गाइज अगर ये सुन के आपको भी लगा वाओ मैं भी ऐसे सोचना चाहता हूँ, मैं सीखना चाहता हूँ ऐसे कैसे सोचते हैं, तो क्या करना है? सब्सक्राइब का बटन, सब्सक्राइब